Hello and welcome, everybody.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
So I put up the screen share. Everybody can see it
Yep.
Sure.
because I was thinking, one of the cliches that I live by is life is choice, and I've had a couple of coaching clients this week that have fully realized the impact of that statement by fine-tuning their decision strategy and realizing just how much they can control aspects of their life when they put themselves at choice. So life is no longer happening to them, it's happening because of them. So, a lot happens, people talk about empowering themselves, but the biggest way to empower yourself is to be the creator of your life. And it doesn't mean you create every single thing in the world around you, but it means that you're responsible for the parts of your world that you can create. So, in times of uncertainty, document what you're certain of. So you're certain of you. That's the biggest thing that you're certain of. And what can you bring to life, to your life? You can bring your personal best. You can perform at a level where you're giving your personal best. I mean, I had a friend, she passed away about 2 years ago. But I was going through a rough time, and she'd always say, "Mark, you're doing your best," right? And like those words just ring so true for me, because what more can you do in life? What more can anybody expect from you if you can honestly and truly say, "Hey, I'm doing my personal best. This is the best that I can do. This is the best that you have to offer." And when you offer your best, it creates an environment where other people want to offer their best as well. So it kind of like ups the game a little bit. So if life is choice and you're making the best possible choices, that you're deciding that today you're going to do something that will have a great, positive, and wonderful, uplifting impact on your life, okay, that's also going to impact others around you. So really what I want to focus on in this session, and I'm going to do a little bit leading up to it, and maybe you'll share a little bit, is, we've done a session already on who are you, but really what makes up who you are is the things that you value, your core values, the things that are important to you. So a lot of people have really been going through, in these past couple of months while the world is kind of shut down and they have a lot of time by themselves. Some people have taken this time not to go to sleep, but to wake up and to like really dive into themselves and say, what's really important. I thought it was important to do this or to do that. And then, living is important in so many new ways now for a lot of people, because they realize how fragile it can be and how fragile our ecosystem of the world can be when, one thing can lead to another, to another, to another. And then next thing you know, before anyone even realized it, the whole world shut down. So I don't think anyone 5 years ago, when they were setting their five-year goals, could have even remotely predicted this. So what I'd like you to think about, and that's why I put the screen share up first, is really what's most important to you in your world. What do you value the most? So in my meditation every morning, I say, I'm so happy and I'm so grateful for an abundance of health and wealth and love and joy and peace and happiness and prosperity. These are they're big picture things, and each one of those kind of can be narrowed down into a lot of detailed things that make up that, and it can be different from time to time. But the thing is, on a big picture, what's important to you? Some people, adventure is important. Some people, relationships are important. Some people, and those could fall into, adventure could lead to happiness, relationships or love, on some level, or peace, So, what are the values that are important to you? So when you can live into those values, you become a more authentic version of your personal best. So Some people value things like integrity, and coming back into the world now gives us an opportunity to display our level of integrity and who we are and how authentic we are and how aligned we are with what's important to us and to, the people in our lives, who's important to you, not just what's important to you, but who's important to you. So we value relationships, we value friendships, we value significant others in our lives. We can value time, so we've had a lot of extra time now, but when the world starts reopening, we might not have as much spare time, or the world might be the world of time, the economy of time might be different. I was listening to a great sales trainer, Jeffrey Gitomer, and he was talking about, how, okay, you think everybody's going back to work and it's going to be, like business as usual, but no, business as usual is going to continue with a lot more stuff online, a lot more telecommuting, a lot more video conferencing. The whole world has opened up in a way that was not open before, in that people are now realizing they don't have to travel halfway around the world for a meeting. They can hop on Zoom like this call. I was teaching a class just the other day with a friend of mine in Australia. Granted, I had to get up at 6 a.m. to do it. It was kind of crazy, but I was there. And then there were two women from Texas and Iowa that were an hour earlier than me. So kudos to them. But we had people from New Zealand, we had people from England, we had people from Middle America, from all over Australia, and it was great to see how the world can come together online in a new way. So, when we look at what's important to us, we think about, our core values. And when you lock into your value, these are at a high level. I speak of the different levels as kind of like a pyramid. So at the base, it's the level of your environment, where and when. The next level up is a level of behavior, what you're doing or not doing, or how you do it, right? The next level up is a level of capabilities or possibilities. Are you able to do it? How possible is it? What are your strengths and weaknesses? But the next level up is values and beliefs, right? So this is a pretty high level, right? The only real level above that is your identity, and then what kind of feeds it all is your vision or your purpose in this world. So, and vision and purpose can relate very directly, not just to your identity, but it can relate very strongly based upon your values, your core values. So we have missions in life. We have a life purpose. We connect to maybe a divine purpose in this world, depending upon your spiritual beliefs. But it's really about, projecting this positive scenario, right? Because the world will give you what you're expecting, right? It won't always give you what you want, but it will give you what you're expecting, right? So I used to talk to people about the power of negative thinking, right? Because some people, it's like a little too woo-woo to talk about the power of positive thinking, but everybody knows about the power of negative thinking. This is gonna be terrible. This is gonna get messed up. This is never gonna work out. And sure enough, it's terrible. It gets messed up, and it never works out. So see, they brought it into existence through speaking. And people can believe that because they've experienced that, right? When they say, oh, I'm going to drive a Ferrari, I'm going to live in a big house, I'm going to have all this money, and then that doesn't happen, they go, see, that doesn't work, right? See, I was thinking positive. But the thing is, it's not just positive, it's linking into your core values. The cool thing about your values is if you could list your top 6 to 8 or 10 top core values, right, and why they're important to you, those have probably always been in the top 20 core values since you were born, and probably will be till you die. So our values don't really shift very quickly. So if life is choice, and you're making these choices based upon your core values, then you're going to live a life that is more valuable to you, right? Because it's you're living into what you value, right? What does that mean? It's valuable. It means that action or that result feeds into your value system. It's something that's important to you. So if someone values adventure and they go on a vacation, well, that was valuable to them to go on that vacation because it fed into their value of adventure and exploring and seeing new and different things, whatever those values are. So I really want you to expand your thinking in terms of values, but at the same time, kind of narrow it in to like, what are the really core ones, the values that are essential for you to be you? Not just, hey, this is kind of important to me, or this would be nice, or I like this. No, the things that are just truly, deeply, essentially important to you. That's what it means to have values, to have life be choice, to live your life so authentically, so congruently, so consistently tied in with the best version of who you are that it's the only way you could ever imagine being, right? So some people, flip and they flop. They go from one way of thinking to another way of thinking. They're kind of like chameleons. One day they're like this, one day they're like that. One day they say one thing, one day they say another thing. And I'm not just talking about politicians here. I'm talking about like people that we know. Everyone knows people that they just seem disingenuous. And when you meet someone who's genuine, they're authentic, they say what they mean what they say, they walk the walk, they talk the talk, they walk the talk, they talk the walk. They're totally congruent. You know who they are, right? And who you think they are is who they think they are, is how they act. They're totally aligned. And a lot of that starts with, it starts with a vision of what you want and a purpose in life. It starts with being the person that you authentically are, but it's really aligned with your core values. That's how it starts to be expressed. And when you can express every aspect of your living from the place of your core values, when you're making value-based choices, when you're living your life aligned with that, it creates within you a level of peace, right? Because you don't have to question, is this morally right or morally wrong? You don't have to wait for other people's judgments, right? You have your own moral compass that's based on your high level core values. It's based upon your beliefs, okay? And this is what we act upon. We act upon our beliefs, right? So beliefs can empower us, encourage us. They can be our reasons, okay? But beliefs can also be excuses. They can pull us back. They can stop us from taking action. We believe something's going to be dangerous. We believe something's going to fail. We're not going to do it. We believe that we're not capable of it. So beliefs can happen at all levels on that pyramid. We can have beliefs about our environment. Oh, these are dangerous places and dangerous times, and it's not a good economy to do that. It's not the best time. It's not the best situation. All the dominoes aren't lined up to knock them down. So it's, we could blame the environment. We can have excuses about that. We can have beliefs about that, or we can say, you know what, with big problems comes big opportunities. With times of uncertainty comes the opportunity to be so certain that you shine like a beautiful sunset. Right? So the thing is, you look at the next level up as a level of behavior, right? So beliefs, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? What do you believe? Is this the best way to do it? Is there a better way to do it? Do I know how to do it? Do I not know how to do it? Right? So that leads into possibilities and capabilities, right? Do you know what to do? Do you know how to do it? Is it even possible to do? So here's the thing: when you think about it, most, if not all, of the greatest inventions in the world at some point were impossible. There's a great story about Henry Ford. He walks into his engineers, and at that point in the history of the world, there was nothing more than a 6-cylinder engine, straight, all the cylinders right in a row, right? So he walks into his research and development engineers, and he goes, I want you to make an 8-cylinder engine. And the guy scratches his head, and he goes, but Mr. Ford, that's impossible. We can't make an 8-cylinder engine. He goes, great. When can I see it? right? So he leaves, he comes back 6 months later, and he's like, how's that 8-cylinder engine coming? And they go, we tried this, we tried that, we tried this, we tried that, but it's impossible. We can't make an 8-cylinder engine. He goes, great, keep working on it. I'll see you in 6 months, right? 6 months later, he comes back, and lo and behold, they figured it out. They put the cylinders 4 on one side, 4 on the other side, and they made it in L, and they got an 8-cylinder engine to work. So, you know, the greatest inventions were impossible, you know. I mean, think about what we're doing right now. Think about what I was just talking about with the class in Australia. You know, if you thought back even just 10 or 15 years ago that we could have an online meditation where we can all see each other, or at least see each other's names, but certainly hear each other. And if we chose to share video, we could all see each other and interact. Okay. We could have Google Docs open, and we could be all writing and sharing the same document simultaneously. And we could be anywhere in the world doing this because of the internet, right? I mean, if you would have told someone, you know, 50 years ago that they were going to be able to do that, right? Think back, you know, 1970, right? You're telling people, okay, we're going to be able to go on a computer and on a screen like a TV, we're going to be able to see, you know, 100 people all at the same time that could be anywhere in the world simultaneously. And we're going to see them moving live video, and we're going to hear what they're saying, and we're going to be able to share information back and forth, and even have like a little sidebar of chatting with each other. Like, they would have laughed. They would have asked you what you're smoking, right? Especially back in the 70s, right? So the thing is, here, without even smoking anything, we're able to do this, you know. So we're able to adopt and to adapt and to, you know, to come up with new ways of, you know, rising above the circumstances, right? So when you're aligned with your core values, you have the opportunity to position who you are, right? And you become a leader. You become a thought leader. You become a leader of opportunity. You become someone that someone looks up to and says, hey, in these uncertain times, how can you be so certain? And then you lead them, you guide them, you help them, right? Maybe you have some wonderful tools. My tool is I have hypnosis, you know, and I'm doing my best to teach it to as many people as I can. So, because there's only so many people I can help, even online, even if I had 100 people at a time, right? There's still only so many people that I can help, because my message doesn't resonate with everybody. But each person in their own level of rapport with what you can do for the world, you can be a force for good in the world, especially when you're coming from your core values and you really align yourself with those values and the choices that you make, the people that you associate with, the things you say, the things you don't say, the things you do, the things you don't do, the places you go, the places you don't go, are all aligned with your values and your value-based decisions. I mean, just think about how that alone makes an improvement to your life, makes an improvement to who you are and how you're perceived in the world. You know, people are going to go, wow, you're a person of integrity. You know, you have values. You know, you do things because they're important to you. You shine, right? You're authentic. You're confident. You're skilled. You have amazing abilities to do things that, you know, it seems like other people don't even have the ability to do, right? And yet you're able to do them because you decided that you're able to do them. And that's really all it takes. So life is choice. So something could be impossible, but then you choose to do it anyhow, and you prove that it is possible, right? You know, many years ago, they said you can't run faster than a 4-minute mile because no one's ever done it. In 60 or 80 years of racing, no one's ever beat the 4-minute mile. And then the very same year that Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile, 6 or I think 8, maybe 8 other people also broke it. So in 80 years, no one could break it. But then Roger Bannister broke the 4-minute mile. And in the same year, 6 or 8 other people also broke the 4-minute mile. So what it did was it opened up the belief that it was possible, right? And once something's possible, then you can do it, right? But the thing is, there are people, there are leaders. Roger Bannister did it when it was impossible, right? Henry Ford created an 8-cylinder motor when it was impossible, right? People created inventions like the fax machine, like TVs, like, millions of different inventions that we take for granted in the modern world. Years ago, I remember watching Star Trek back in the 70s, and they had this, communicator where they'd open it up and it would beep, and then they'd be able to talk back to the spaceship, And then Motorola came out with a cell phone that flipped open, and everybody was walking around like they were in Star Trek. So, all these great inventions, and there was a whole thing on how so many great inventions came from the show Star Trek, like the doors that automatically open when you approach it, right? Now I don't think there's a supermarket without one of those. So the thing is, it's important, right? It's of value. It's significant, not just to yourself, but if you value it, guess what? There's a good chance that probably other people in the world value it too. And when you do something that's valuable, guess what? It helps not just yourself. It's not just about you at that point, but you're adding value to the lives of others. You're adding significance. You're becoming a force for good in the world, right? So what more noble thing could there be than to be a force for good in the world? So tonight, I really, really want you to think about, what are your core values? What are some of the values that are important to you? I shared that sheet earlier, but you can think about, different aspects of health. It could be mental health, it could be emotional health, it could be physical health. It could be loving relationship with a significant other, with friends, with extended family, with community, with your children, with a pet. It could be love of life. It could be love of, different things that are important to you, like adventure and travel and knowledge and learning and reading and exploring. There's lots of things in this world that are so valuable. So the thing is, I can put out hundreds of words, but the real value in the values is when you pick your words. Those are the ones that are going to be significant to you. So whereas I might use many different value words throughout this meditation, if you have your own, and those can kind of like play in the background of your mind, then you'll get more value from this, right? So I'm going to unmute for a little bit and just see if anyone wants to share a word or a type of value that's valuable to you. So anyone want to share?
Stress reduction.
Stress reduction. Okay, so what's the value of stress reduction for you?
Clarity. Laser focus. Moving back into this new era of change, I have to be laser focused and precise on everything I do, because you're under the scrutiny of COVID.
Right.
But now I got to be extra laser focused, like make sure I have masks to show houses, make sure I have gloves. God forbid they forget them, because people will forget them. You can bet on it. So today I went out and I bought 50 masks, and I got 50 gloves, 50 sets of gloves, and I got booties. And I won't forget. So I'm going to be laser focused on making sure everybody's got their provided needs to get done. And you know what? I'm going to get done what I got to get done.
Cool. So just to show something ironic is, like, Ed, you're in sales, and you're out there meeting and greeting people, and you're preparing for that, and you mentioned the value of laser focus. And I just worked with a woman halfway around the world, literally in Australia, and she's a yoga teacher. It's like totally different profession, but the value that she's looking to express in her life is laser focus. So I just thought that was ironic. I just sent her the recording of it the other day.
Nice.
So, cool. Anyone else want to share? Susan, if you want to share, I think you have to unmute yourself. But anyone else want to share? Come on, I won't bite.
Mute. Hello?
Hi, Barbara.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I always knew that health was the most important. I had cancer 8 years ago. I'm fine. It's a miracle. There's COVID out there. The fact that I'm well and the people that I love the most in this world are well. Oh my God, so grateful for health.
Okay. So I got two from that. One that you probably didn't even realize you gave, which is
Okay?
gratitude.
Oh, always. I live in
Yeah.
gratitude.
So I mean, gratitude is the value of valuing,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So very
Good
cool.
point. Good point. Thanks.
So cool. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
So we've got laser focus, clarity, um, uh,
You can add health to the list.
I just did.
Oh, great minds think alike.
There you go. So what's a word for you, Craig?
Well, for me, it's health and anxiety reduction.
Okay. So after you reduce anxiety, what's the value of that to you?
I'll be able to function better. I don't, I'm not as active as I would like to be. I would go and explore more things, uh, if I was less anxious about uh, succeeding in them.
Give me 1 second. I've got the time of my phone. Okay, I'm back. So I apologize for that. Okay,
No
so I
problem.
got, I've been putting these in the chat. So I have laser focus, I have clarity, I have gratitude, I have health, I have function better and explore more things.
Cool.
Who else would like to share? Hey, Carol. You're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Okay. Carol, we can't hear you, so
Can you hear me now?
now
Yes.
we can, yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I need to have headphones in for this to work. That's weird. Anyway, sorry. I apologize for being late. I got held up on another call.
Okay, so we're talking about value words. So what are some of your core values or things that are important to you? You know, we all have lots of values, but what's a core value of yours? Something that you kind of live into?
Integrity.
That's a good one. Okay, another one.
Oh, I see that. I like laser focus and clarity. Clarity is a good one for me.
Okay, cool. Okay. Anyone else want to share? Yannick or Susan?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little low. If you can get closer to the microphone, maybe. But now you muted yourself.
I
Huh. Okay. Yannick, you have to unmute yourself, or Susan, you have to unmute yourself. I guess you're calling in on a phone. I don't have the ability to unmute you.
no. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good.
I was, someone said it, I always say health is number one, but it's specifically your body, your mind, your spirit, and your emotions. And I all see that as health. And self-love, respect for other and self. And I liked, you said, someone said integrity, I like that. But health, I always say, two people said that already.
Sounds like alignment to me.
Yeah, you know,
We'll add that one.
Well, as I always say, you got to adjust, monitor, and control your life. Don't let it control you.
Right. Well, that's what this is about. So these are the guiding principles of our life, right?
Mhm.
So,
Like
you know,
getting a real car.
our vision or our purpose in life is kind of the destination. It's the blueprint. It's the roadmap. It's the foundation also at the same time. But the kind of steering is really our choices are the steering. But the basis of our steering, like I was talking earlier, is when your choices are value based, then you have much better ability to steer and to know whether to turn left or right or where you are in the lane. You know, it's kind of a self-evaluation rather than being judged by others. And it's not even that we're judging ourselves. We're kind of predetermining what's important to us so that we stay the course, so that we have integrity, like Carol mentioned. And when we have integrity, when we're authentic to our truest self, because we're making value-based choices, then it's kind of like the steering takes care of itself. We're on autopilot because we trust in our core values. And like I mentioned earlier, they're pretty much unwavering. So the steadiness, the consistency, the congruency of our core values kind of guides us. You know, like Jiminy Cricket always used to say, let your conscience be your guide, right? So our conscience is kind of our core values, you know, that help us to determine, you know, our morals, the things that are important to us and how we interact with the world around us. So if you're living a value-based life consistently, people will look up to you. They'll look to you as a thought leader, right? And that's really what we are. I commend you all for being here now. There's a lot of people that said they would be here and they're not. There's a lot of people that want to be here but can't, and they'll probably watch this recording afterwards. So the thing is, you know, when you show up, you know, and you proclaim to yourself and the world around you, I'm awake, I'm alert, I'm alive, I'm participating in life, and I'm the creator of my world based upon your vision of what you want the world to be and how you want the world to be, who you are showing up in that world, and you're aligned with your core values, okay, then you make the impossible possible. And you take the action that most people are afraid to take, no matter where you are, no matter who you're with, no matter what's going on in the world, right? And that's what we're going to experience here tonight is such an alignment with your core values that you can really deeply root yourself because your values are deeply rooted. And that makes you unshakable. And when you're unshakable, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world around you. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what their opinions are. And it doesn't mean you don't care, right? You can value empathy. You can value listening and sharing and caring, okay? But you don't compromise your values because someone else wants you to or needs you to or even just demands that you do it. So you hold true to your values and those ground you in your truth, you know, where, like I said at the beginning, you're doing the best you can. You're doing and being and giving your personal best. What more can you do, right? So one of the original, and I'll probably use it in this session, but one of the original hypnotic suggestions, Emile Coué, a French hypnotist, said, every day, in every way, you're getting better and better. Right? So if you take that where you're at, right now you can give it your personal best, and also realize at the same time you're better than that. And you can get better and better every day in every way. So, but it's also about, accepting where you're at, to be okay with where you're at. So like one of my mentors wrote a book, Stop Chasing Perfection and Settle for Excellence, right? And he wrote that book. It took him 20 years to publish that book. And it was written and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten and rewritten, and hence the title. He was trying to make the perfect book on the field of NLP and hypnosis. And what he realized at one point was, it's never going to be perfect. But where it was at was excellent, right? So he was willing to let go of the perfectionism, settle for excellence, and he produced a great book, an excellent book, right? So the thing is, what's your excellence? What's your way of living into your core values and being authentic, having integrity, having that clarity, that laser focus, having gratitude for everything and everyone in your life, being able to explore all the possibilities, right? Of your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions, okay? Health and wealth and love and joy and peace and happiness and prosperity. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get started in a couple minutes with the trance. Anyone have anything else they'd like to add? You can unmute yourself, and then in 2 minutes, I'm just going to set up the music. If anyone has any questions or any comments or any words they'd like to add to the list, add them now. I shared most of them except the original 7 that I put up in the chat.
I like authenticity also.
Okay.
Good choice. How about just regular old honesty?
I'm sorry?
How about just regular honesty?
Honesty. I like that. And that leads to trust, right? When someone's consistently honest, then you trust them. So,
Trust is a must.
oops. My music player keeps moving around here. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to mute everybody except myself. At least it does that automatically. Let's see how we can do this here. You know what? I'll go back to the original screen share. Okay. So everybody can get comfortable. And if you have headphones and you want to put them on, or sit in a nice comfortable chair so that you can get nice and relaxed. To realize it, by now, I think enough of you have been here that you realize it's not about falling asleep, but it is about kind of letting go of your physical body and just being in touch with that more mental or emotional aspect of who you are. So as you breathe in deeply and exhale slowly, you're learning to relax. And at first you might become more aware of some things than you were before: the sound of my voice, the sound of the music, sounds in the room, thoughts or feelings that may drift through the mind automatically. And that's fine. I'd like you to take a moment for yourself. And I'd like to invite you to explore a journey, an inner journey into a deeper state of relaxation than perhaps you've experienced before. Now is your opportunity to recognize, perhaps even in a newer way, that life is choice. Because if you're at choice, then you get to decide the quality of your life. If you make the best quality choices, you live the best quality life. So allowing yourself to explore the different levels of relaxation that you can experience, a wonderful feeling. Even if you don't know how to do that, you still can. Because there are many things that have been deemed impossible. And yet now, they exist in a way that everybody recognizes just how possible they are. To use and to explore. Exploring the things that are most important to you and the people you love and the world around you in such a way that you recognize and you validate the things that are truly important to you can be considered by you and others to be your core values. And you may have already begun to realize that to meditate, to relax, to enjoy a wonderful transforming experience in your body and in your mind in a way that it starts to align the truest sense of who you believe you are and what's important to you and what you're capable of. And the actions you take, no matter where you are, no matter who you're with, no matter what's going on around you. You can display a level of authenticity, of being at your personal best. I mean, what more can you do than to display being your personal best? And to live into it. So take a moment and think about your core values, the things that are important, that are an integral part of who you are. mean, there are things that are pretty universally important, like health, wealth, love. So when you think of health, I want you to get a picture of what that means to you. To notice if there's any sounds or words that you associate with health. Feel the feelings of health and to quantify them. Are they warm or cool? Are they heavy or light? Hard or soft? Are the sounds voices or music or silence? Is there a speed or a rhythm to it? What's the quality of those sounds? Can you actually see the image through your own eyes? Or do you see yourself in the image? Is it framed or is it panoramic? 3D, in full color, moving, like real life. Is it fuzzy? Or can you see it with laser focus, with clarity? Just notice what ideal health looks like to you, what it sounds like to you, what it feels like to you. How fresh is it? How sweet is it? Think about the value of wealth in your life. And even what wealth means to you. Wealth can be money. Wealth can be relationships. Wealth can be many different qualities of your life. It can be loving what you do and doing what you love in a way that you enjoy. Authentic and aligned with your truest self. So picture what wealth looks like to you. Is it color? Is it black and white? Is it moving or is it still? Is it close or is it far? What does wealth sound like to you? Is it loud? Is it soft? Is it close or far? Where is wealth in your life? And what does it feel like when you think about wealth in your life? Where do you feel it in your body? Or is it outside of you? Is it large or small? Soft or hard? Does Does it have a definite shape, form, or is it kind of fluid? What about love in your life? People you love, the things you love, the things you love to do, the places you love to go, the information you love to learn about. Think about the loving relationships in your life. Your significant other, your family, your friends, people in your life, your pets. Things you love about your environment, things you love about yourself. Really one of the biggest things in exploring your core values now. If your values make up a big part of who you are, and they do, and you live into your values and you love the things that you value, then you love yourself in a healthy and resourceful way. To be okay with who you are and where you are and how you live in the world, because you're aligned with things that are important to you, and you realize it, and so do others. That level of authenticity, of honesty, trust in yourself, trust from others, trust in the world around you, trust in your ability to love yourself, to explore more things, to function better. Aligned and grateful that you're able to express your core values easily and naturally and enjoyably. So even when you might have had some apprehension about sharing things about yourself, it's very easy to share your core values, because as each and every one of you are experiencing, listening to this here, now, the sounds of my voice, expressing the values of many others, can also resonate for you in a higher way, to expand aspects of who you are, or to root more deeply in the integrity and the authenticity of loving yourself deeply, honestly, trusting yourself and your skills and your abilities, because you're making decisions that are based on your truest, deepest core values. So we've explored what health is for you, and what wealth is for you, what love is for you. And you can flavor that with a little bit of joy. Think about the moments in your life that bring joy to you. Maybe it's something you do, maybe it's someone you're with. What's the value of joy for you? And peace. So many people are seeking peace. And then they finally discover peace does not exist without you. It exists within you. Happiness. What brings happiness into your being? What thoughts? What actions? What memories do you have as a resource of happiness in your life? Happy times, happy relationships, things that bring a smile to your face. And prosperity. Truly living into the fact that every day, in every way, you're getting better and better. Every day, in every way, you're more and more aligned with your purpose in this world. Every day, in every way, you're more and more authentic, more and more loving towards yourself, more and more living into doing your personal best, functioning better, exploring more things, having more gratitude, laser focus, more clear than ever before in your life, aligned in body, mind, spirit, emotion, loving yourself authentically, honestly, truthfully. Expanding as a result of this. Even more possibilities and capabilities. To discover the hidden treasures within yourself. To act in ways that you're aligned with the things that are important to you, to make the best possible choices, living the best possible life. Realizing that everyone and everything and every thought is here and now for you. To realize many, many more things about yourself. But not just any version of yourself. Your personal best version. So as you picture, think about, imagine the best version of yourself being fully aligned with your core values and the most empowering versions of your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. and then step into that version of yourself. Just simply be your personal best. Notice where you feel this in your body first, and where it moves from there until it begins to expand throughout all of your body, and you just feel this wonderful happiness and peace and joy, health and wealth and love and prosperity. You start to recognize that you have laser focus. Everything becomes pure, and you have clarity, and you have gratitude for the wonderful expression of who you are. You're healthy, you're wealthy, you're loving, you're functioning better, you're exploring things in the world around you, exploring things within yourself. You have integrity. You recognize your wonderful body, your wonderful mind, your wonderful spirit, and the emotions that just flow throughout you, and that you're loving yourself, and others love you, and you love others, and you're just in alignment with all of the things that are the authentically true core values of yourself. Honest with yourself, honest with others, who you are and how others see you, and the actions you take and the things that you do are fully aligned in a way that you can feel this glowing from every cell in your body, and sharing this light as you shine. See the shine that comes from within you. That shine that makes you unshakable, that grounds you, that roots you into your core values. That shine that's the most authentic version of you, the most confident version of you, the most enthusiastic version of you. That's right. Because in a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 5. And when I reach 5, you can take all of the values and things that are important to you, all the aspects from your vision and your purpose to who you are, to your beliefs, your values, and your capabilities and possibilities, and the things you do and don't do, no matter where you are, no matter who you're with, no matter what's going on around you. And you can pull them inside of you, lock them in, ground yourself so that you can soar and shine and be your personal best. Simply because the whole time you've been listening to this, you've had some conscious thoughts, and you've had some other than conscious thoughts, haven't you? Been utilizing your awesome conscious will and your creative other than conscious imagination, working together as a team in full rapport, working together as one. 2, help you to realize and extract any benefits that you had gotten from being unclear, unfocused, not functioning at your best, unhealthy, lacking integrity, not having health or wealth or love in your life, and to explore and to extract the benefits of that, and come up with 3 ways that you can be more authentically aligned, 3 ways that you'll be more grateful about what you do have in your life, 3 ways that you can create and document certainty in times of uncertainty, 3 ways that you can be awakened to the fact that your life is your choices. When your life is based on choice and you're making the best possible choices, you're living the best possible life. When you decide who you are, you're being the best version of yourself. That's right, your personal best. And it's not just for yourself, but it's for everyone in your life. It's not just for now, but it's for the rest of your life to enjoy even more of who you truly are, becoming even more of who you truly are, better and better each and every day, in each and every way you truly are, becoming better and better. And when you're ready to live into this most authentic, most fully aligned, grateful, clear, healthy, wealthy, loving version of yourself, then and only then can you begin to experience it now with not just one or two or three or even four of your senses awakening to this reality, but you can feel it in every cell in your body. You can hear it in the sound of your own voice, what you're saying to yourself and what others are saying to you and about you. You can get a taste of how deliciously wonderful your life is, and you can wake up and smell all the flowers, not just the roses. Then and only then can you now open your eyes with all five of your senses, fully awake, fully alert, and fully aware of just how good it feels to be even more completely aligned with your core values than ever before in your life now, aren't you? So take all the time you need in the next minute or so of clock time to fully bring yourself back into awareness of just how wonderful you are. If your core values are the most important thing to you and you're living your core values, you're the best version of yourself. And who wouldn't love that? Who wouldn't love you? Especially yourself, aren't you? So any questions, comments, things I need to know?
I like the background.
My friend from high school, actually, who I haven't seen probably since high school, took this picture somewhere in California.
It's a good one.
And I fell in love with it. I asked her if I could share it, and she's like, "Yeah, of course, I'd be honored." So, yeah, it's just, I search for the ultimate sunset, and this to me, I mean, I can't imagine a better sunset. It's just,
It's really pretty. I like this. Music.
So anyone else? I know we kind of wrapped up a little early tonight. So
Um,
anyone have anything they want to share?
Always thank you.
Okay.
I
Gracious.
think I stayed more aware this time than other times. And I just love, I love the way you bring us out.
Okay. Yeah, I've kind of been doing that for, I don't know, 25 years. Developed new ways of doing that, but I appreciate your feedback, Carol, since I know you know a lot of the technical behind the curtain stuff about what I was doing and how I was doing it. So thank you. I appreciate you. Anyone else want to share anything? Questions, comments, concerns?
yes, when you were saying the 7 words you wrote, somehow when you said what brings you joy, that just grabbed me.
Right. So that's the cool thing with values words is they're at a high level. That joy can mean one thing to Yannick, it can mean one thing to me, it can mean one thing to Suzanne. We all have our own definition of joy, and that's why I kind of guided you through how it's best for you to experience joy. That was kind of the purpose of that. So it's the beauty of value. Okay, Suzanne, smile.
I also really like how you're able to utilize each of those words in lots of different ways all throughout.
Right. Well, even as a young kid, language became my hobby. I love playing with words. My dad had an ad agency, so he, marketing is all about the words you use. So I guess I just became attuned to that. And yeah, so when I first discovered the world of NLP, neuro linguistic programming, and it was all about how you use language, and then hypnosis just took that to like a whole nother level. I dove in, and I haven't turned back. So, just the first time I was talking to a friend on a car ride, and we were talking about different changes that he wanted to make in his life, and I had him picture one thing in one hand and one thing in the other hand, and I know Carol knows this technique, but the idea is to bring the two together. Right? So I'm talking to him in the car. He's the passenger. I'm driving, and I'm doing this uh, intervention with him, and he just goes, "Wow, that was great." So I'm like, "Cool, I'm done." Right? So about 3 months later, we're driving in the car again. He says, it's really strange. The last time I was in the car with you, my life was totally different. I was talking about like having this girlfriend that I didn't really like. Now I have a new girlfriend that I love. How I, didn't like this one aspect of my business, so I let that go and I picked up this other area, and now I'm making a ton more money, and I love what I'm doing. But I didn't like where I was living, and now I'm living in a great place, and I got a new car. And he goes, "Did this have anything to do with that conversation we had in the car that time 3 months ago?" And I'm like, possibly. Um, so, it's to me, it's about learning how to use words and language to influence with integrity. So, a course that I've taught for many years is how to be a confident, persuasive communicator. And I've taken people that were deathly afraid of speaking in public, and the minute they said that, I brought them up on stage and had them speak to the audience. And within minutes, they were comfortable with it. So it's learning how to express yourself, and then learning the words that can be most effective for that. So, you were mentioning earlier, I used to do this ritual where every year I'd pick 6 words on New Year's. And Barbara knows this because we learned it in Bryant's meditation group, where we would pick our 6 words for the year. And then we kind of like, they could represent goals, or they could just be words that we live into, or ways that we want to live our life. But, kind of like these like value-based words, but some of them could be a little bit more tangible. So I've kind of morphed that because 6 words seem like a little too much for me. And it kind of made it a little too vague. So now I've been doing 3 words. So my words for this year are authentic, confident, and enthusiastic. So those are kind of goals, but it's also, keeping me to a standard. I have a new friend who says, "You're already authentic, you're already confident, and you're already the most enthusiastic person I know." And I go, "Yeah, but I have my own level that I want to take it to." So, it's about portraying that. So enthusiasm is not just about me standing here being excited and getting you excited. Enthusiasm to me is shining in a way that it occurs because I help you to shine. So that's kind of my goal for this meditation is, we're going through kind of uncertain times, dark times, scary times, whatever you want to call it, certainly different times. And if I can be some sort of light that helps you to shine, right? So this beautiful sunset behind me, right? It would be nothing without the clouds, right? So, a soul doesn't shine bright until something illuminates it. So your truest essence of who you are can shine when you take it in, when you express it. So That's my blessing for you, to be authentic, to shine, to live every day with health, wealth, love, joy, peace, and happiness and prosperity. Okay, and you can add in laser focus, clarity, gratitude, health, and functioning better, and exploring more things, and having integrity, and aligning your body and your mind and your spirit and your emotions, and loving yourself, and having authenticity and honesty and trust, and whatever other value words you want to add in there. So um, that's it for tonight. We get to end early. So unless anyone has any questions or comments or concerns, I wish you all well. As always, I thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you being here. There's probably a million other places you could have been tonight doing a million other things. And I appreciate you being here. And my wish is that you get the most value from this, and give me feedback, what you like, what you don't like, what changes you've made in your life as a result of this, and what you want more of. This is for you. I already do this for myself all the time. I have other people that do this for me. My coach today hypnotized me on the phone. It was so good, and thank God he recorded it. And I put music behind it, and I made it into a recording. It's only about 15 minutes, but I am going to listen to it every day for the next week, because it's everything that I'm working on in my life condensed into one custom audio recording with trancey music behind it. So, find the thing that works for you. If anyone needs any kind of music, I have some really great sources for meditation music. I have a library of some audios that I've shared with you guys as gifts, and I also make custom. Okay, but here's something really cool. And believe it or not, we're still waiting to see the final number, but we're not getting as huge a response as I would have anticipated. And a friend of mine in California kind of prompted me to do the class at this time. Maybe it's not the best time for it, I'm not sure. But if anyone is interested, I am teaching a hypnosis intensive class. So I've taught many, many hypnosis classes, but this is the first time I'm teaching it as an intensive, because I've had a lot of people express to me that they're certified hypnotherapists. They're even trainers of hypnosis, and they've never seen one client. And to me, that's a shame, because the world is missing out on wonderful talent, and they're also missing out on being able to recognize a wonderful talent and skill and ability that they have within themselves. So my expression is to be a force for good in the world. There's a lot of stress and tension out there. You might not be experiencing it yourself because you're here every week meditating, and you're probably doing other things to keep yourself aligned. But there are people out there that need your special, unique talents and skills and abilities. So if anyone is interested in learning how to hypnotize people to do exactly what I did for you here tonight, you're going to learn not just how to, like in the beginning, I got an intake from you. I found out what your core values are. So I've got a script, I've got a sheet, an intake sheet on how to question people so that you can elicit the change that they want to make in their life. And then I'm going to teach you how to get people into a trance. There's a couple of ways that you can play around with, but then there's a tried and proven way that I've used many times here of progressively relaxing the body, and then the mind follows. And then you're going to learn how to create a script so that when you get that person into a trance, you know exactly what to say and how to say it in ways that's going to be effective for them. And then how to bring them out. Like Carol mentioned, I had a very creative way of bringing people out. I'm going to teach you that way of bringing them out, as well as generically how to do it and what the preface is behind that. So you're going to learn everything you need to know to be able to find out what a person wants, to be able to get them into a state of trance, to be able to deepen that trance, and to make the suggestions based upon a script that you spontaneously created custom for them. You're going to be able to bring them out of a trance and integrate it and make the effects of that trance long lasting well into their future, and make them want more and refer people to you. Okay, you're going to learn the basis of how to create a program so you're not just selling them on single sessions. And you're going to learn all this in an intensive. It was originally 9 hours, 3 hours a day for 3 days. We're playing around with it possibly being 2 5-hour days, or it might go back to 3 3-hour days, depending upon who finally commits to it. Normally I'm unwavering on that, but this is a new class and it kind of came up with short term for me to market it. So I'm going with majority rules in this case. So if anyone's interested, the class is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 30th and 31st, or it might be Saturday, Sunday, and Monday evening if we split it into 3 3-hour days. So it's either going to be from 1 to 6 on Saturday and Sunday, or it's going to be from 6 to 9 Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So if you want to join, let me know your preferences to times, and we'll make it happen. And I love to teach. I'm a teacher. So thank you all for being here. And if anyone is interested in the class, you can reach out to me. There was an email sent out. There'll probably be one more that will go out before the class starts. And this is the least expensive I've ever offered it. I've charged $1,800 for hypnosis certification classes. I've charged $900 for classes and then an additional charge for the certification. I've charged $630 for just learning hypnosis and about hypnosis for people that wanted to use it for themselves and others and already had a lot of other skills they could integrate it with. But this is the first time I'm offering it as an intensive, and I wanted to offer it in a time where more people could take advantage of learning this. And for just $270, you're going to learn how to do it. You're not going to learn about it. You know, I'm going to give you books that you can read about hypnosis. If you want to have knowledge about hypnosis, that's great. But you're going to learn the practical skills. All the fluff's been removed. This is just what you do and how you do it in the right sequence so that you can be effective. And you can use it to improve yourself. You can use it to affect the lives of others around you. And like I said, be a force for good in the world. It's not about party tricks. There are fun things we can do. Depending upon how the class goes, I might teach you a couple of convincers, which is really what most people use in doing some sort of stage hypnosis or something like that. They want to convince the person that they're following their suggestions. But that's really the basis of the class. And, you know, we're going to, you know, offer it this time at this price. In the future, it might be more money. The class might be set up differently, but right now I just felt compelled to offer it this way because we had some people that, you know, they already know hypnosis, they just want to do it. But then I did it in a way that someone starting from scratch, having no experience, can learn everything they need to be up and doing it. You know, by the end of the first session, you'll be able to induce a trance in someone. And by the end of the program, you'll be able to go out and do hypnosis with someone else for fun or for profit, right? When I first started, and this is going back to I think when I first saw a client, it was like 1995, and I was charging $80 an hour. So, and that fee has since gone significantly up. Yeah, so anyone wants to talk about that? What I'm also going to offer to ensure, okay, for the people that sign up for this class, is that I'm going to give you one-on-one coaching with me, at least one, if not 2 sessions, to make sure that you're implementing all the tools and techniques to answer any individual questions you have and to help you get set up, especially if you want to do this as a new business or a side business that you can make just some extra money on the side and be a force for good in the world. If you want to just offer it out of the goodness of your heart, help friends. I don't suggest doing it for free. Every time I've done it for free, it was less results than when I charged a small amount. So that's where we're at. There's going to be tons of bonuses. You're going to get the full manual. You're going to get books that you can read. There will be an opportunity at some point in the future to get a certification. There'll be a test for that. There'll probably be a little bit of additional study that you'll need to do, but with the one-on-one coaching sessions, I can guide you through that, or you'll have the opportunity to get discounts on future full certification classes. Okay? So I am Mark. I am your personal mind trainer. This is your meditation group. And if you enjoy it, come back, bring friends. Let's grow this. Okay? The numbers are growing, but the people showing up aren't necessarily growing each week consistently. Sometimes they're different people, but my goal is to have this room filled with 100 people. Okay? And then everybody can go out and spread the light and the love and the joy and the peace and the happiness. So be well. And I
Call
will,
me. Mark.
okay, have a great night, everybody.
Thanks so much, Mark.
Bye, guys.
Have a good night, everybody.